Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to try solving the Dino 5x5. This is going to be really challenging and I look forward to it. So let's start by scrambling this. Regarding the difficulty level, I think this should be about as hard as the Ready Megaminx, maybe just a little bit harder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to solve those centers first, then I'm going to pair up these parts with these parts, and so just to finish off the 5x5 centers, then I'm going to finish off the actual 5x5 centers, not just pairing up the right parts with the other ones. And then I will move on to these sets of edges. So essentially I'm going to do just like solving a 5x5. I'm just going to start with the centers, these and then those, and try to pair up a lot of stuff, and then do the edges and try to pair up these, and then finish it off by solving it like a 5x5. Okay, I think it's pretty much scrambled by now. So first, solving this is just like solving a regular 4x4, so you do the centers just like you would on a regular 4x4. So for example here I've got two, I'm just going to move these two out the way and move these two in. It's just, yeah, it's the same type of solving that you would see on a 4x4. So using the faces to orient those centers here, and then doing sexy moves to bring the parts up there. For example, like this, I just move this here, move this one there. Then I want to pair up these two, so I'm gonna move this one out the way. Whoa, I have a part here that broke. It's these tiny parts that aren't really useful for the mechanism, so I can just remove them. Hopefully they will all break during the solve, because I don't even know why I kept them. It's like these tiny parts that you can see between two triangular parts. They are completely useless. Anyways, so in order to pair up these two, I'm moving this one away, moving that face like here, moving this one back in order to pair up these two, and I'm gonna move them up here, turn the top face 180 degrees and move it down. That's what I was talking about when I said something like the sexy move and stuff. So now I have to do this with every single face. So here, for example, actually that's not the way I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move this down, move this one up, like that. Then I've got one last one to put in there, and that's, again, same method as a 4x4. So here I've got one here, it's gonna go right there, it's gonna pair up with this one, and then I can just turn the top face and bring these back. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed up through the other ones. So as you can see, the centers are now solved, all 6 of them. That was not difficult at all. I'm thinking, instead of solving the edges first, I'm just going to pair up the corner centers, sort of, with their corresponding wing parts here, those tiny triangular parts. So, to do this, let's just take one that's easy, for example. Now I'm going to want to bring a part that fits in there, and then replace that one with one that is broken, like this one, for example, by doing that algorithm that just switches 3 corners together. Whoa, having a bit of lockups like right here. Okay, so now what I did was solve this one, and this one by accident, so that's pretty cool. Let me do that again. For example, here you put this here, so you pair it up. I'm just thinking about something. I just want to make sure that it's not going to damage anything else. When I do the algorithm with this and this, it switches these 3, so that one isn't touched by this turn, that one either, because it's not cut by the Dino cuts. So that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine, and it's also going to change. So this one and that one's fine as well. It's just on that face I'm worried about. So if I move it up, it's gonna change this one, that one, and this one, which isn't touched by the Dino cuts either. So this algorithm works perfectly. I can just move this up there, move it away, bring this one back, and move this one back here. And now I can just undo what I did. It's not really necessary at this point because there's nothing to be fixed. Anyways, so that worked. I've got one here, I've got that one here that's fixed, that one. So it's pretty easy at the beginning. Gonna do one last one and then I'm gonna skip through the rest. So I've got this one. I'm not gonna replace it with that one this time because here, if I put the red here, it's just gonna mess it up when I go backwards. So I'm gonna replace it with something that is not fixed, that isn't paired up, so that one, for example, and it will split the white from the green, which is not really a problem. Okay, I'm noticing that the lockups that I used to have on a not so regular basis are more pronounced right here. So that's too bad. But you know what? I still want to check one more. I still want to get one more corner done. All right. So which one can I take? Maybe that one. Yeah, that one works. Actually, no. I need to put a blue wing piece here. I've got one. So here, move it up there, replace it with that one, which isn't correct. Yeah, I know why the misalignment. I just wanted to check why there were misalignments. The thing is, I've been moving so many layers that you get those tiny misalignments are in both directions, and which is why it locks up. And that's too bad, but it's to be expected with a puzzle of this complexity. Okay, so now I've got blue, yellow, blue, and it's always using the same method, which is actually quite basic. So that is really good. It means that it's going to be easy, and so I'm going to do those centers. So before I'm done with those center corner sort of things, I want to show you an algorithm that I figured out along the way. It's actually a 6 cycle, but it's extremely useful because it pairs them up quite quickly. So essentially what I'm doing is moving this like that, like this, like that, and like this. So this is just a sexy move. So it's like an R, L prime, R prime, L. And what I do, for example, here I only have 3 left. One here, and one here. So you know that these 2 are gonna go there. Then these 2 are gonna go there. And these 2 are gonna go up there. So if you want to do a 3 cycle, all you have to do is do a 3 cycle with these 3 parts here, and another 3 cycle with 3 identical parts. So I put blue here, here, and there. So here I'm replacing green and blue. I'm putting them in the green and blue slots right there. And notice how I moved blue and white, which is why I put blue and white here. So when I bring them down, not only do I pair up blue and white here, but also blue and red, which was here at the beginning. So that's how I solved them quite quickly. Now I need to solve the 5x5 centers. So that's a pretty basic method because this is just the 5x5 method. Okay, so now I've got the 5x5 centers all solved. So that's really good. It's now the next step is going to be pairing up. So not the edges, but the outer edge part. So this one, for example, and this is going to be very, very easy because it's just a 3 cycle. So it's going to be just like solving the edges on a 5x5. Let me just show you what I mean by that. Let's say on a 5x5 you would want to solve this edge and put it with these 2, for example. You just put it in the position you want it to be in, this one. Replace it with another edge, let's say that one, and move it backwards. That's just how you pair up the edges on a 5x5. By the way, it might be a bit annoying with this puzzle because the thing is the layer that locks up is always the middle one, and it's kind of annoying, but it's, I guess, the mechanism, you can't really avoid that. But it's still reasonable. So that's how you would do it on a 5x5. Here, it's going to be slightly different. Let's say I'll take the yellow-orange edge. That's not the right one. There's another one somewhere. Where is it? Okay, it's right here. This one is the one that needs to go right there. So it's yellow-orange, and this is yellow-orange. So what I need to do is put it somewhere, for example, here, where I can just turn the Dino cuts and move it right there. Once that is done, I'm just gonna replace it with an edge that is incorrect, like this one, for example, by moving it downwards. Just a sexy move again, as always. And now that I've done this, I can move this backwards, and it paired up this edge piece with this little, well, sort of partial edge piece right there. So I'm gonna do that again one or two times, like with this one, for example. So this is the orange yellow, and it's supposed to go with this one. Now that's a bit more subtle because here, and actually I'm glad I have this situation because it's slightly different. Here it's part of that edge, so I can't just move it away. I need to do this as if I was pairing up the edges on a 5x5, just so I can split that part from the edge that contained the slot where it's supposed to go. Now I can put this one here. Sorry, it wasn't that one, it was the other one. This one. I can put this one here, and now pair it up with the corresponding partial edge piece, and now I can do the sexy move to replace that edge with any other one. Move the Dino back, and here it's solved. So I've already got the orange yellow here, and the other orange yellow, which is somewhere else. Anyways, I'm gonna do this for, well, you know what, I'll do it one last time so I can just show you again. This is the orange-white, and this is not the orange-white slot I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one, orange-white, right there. And this is what needs to go in there, so I just move it down here, pair them up, right there, replace it with another edge, like this, and move it backwards. So yeah, this is how you do it. So I'm gonna do this, and I will do the end of the 5x5 later on. Because once this is done, all I have to do essentially is just solve the edges of the 5x5 and the 3x3 that's left. So this is just simple reduction. So I'm gonna do those edges, show you the end, and then I will solve the 5x5. Okay, so we're at the last one. There's the white-blue that's gonna go here, and the yellow-red is supposed to go in this position. So once I put it here, I'm gonna replace it with the yellow-red, and that way, when I move it backwards, I've paired up the final edge. So now, as you can see, all that's left is a 5x5. So I'm going to solve that real quick and give you my thoughts on the quality of the puzzle and the solve. Okay, so there's a parity error. I didn't think that was possible. Unfortunately, that means I'm probably going to have to do a lot of solving again, because I think it means that my centers aren't placed properly, in the sense that this one should be here, this one should be here, this one here, and this one here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to re-solve it, except this time by moving the centers 90 degrees. That's very unfortunate, but that's how it is. So I'm not gonna show this on camera because it's pretty simple. You just need to move the centers 90 degrees around the white-yellow equator. It's like on a void cube, like you can have a parity error because of those centers. So here it's the same thing. It's nice to know that there's one more difficulty to take into account. Nevertheless, I wasn't expecting that, and so I'm gonna have to solve this or disassemble it. I guess you'll never know. But overall, the quality of the puzzle is still, it's quite fine. It's only with these middle layers that it locks up a lot, and it's kind of annoying when you're solving it, because the thing is, you move so many different layers that at some point they start to get misaligned, which is, well, misaligned quite easily, which is quite unfortunate. Nevertheless, it is quite solvable. There is one problem that I had that I didn't know before, but then again, that's pretty obvious. It was obviously going to happen. It's that most of my algorithms on the 5x5, this is a 6x6, but it's muscle memory, and I have to do them fast if I want to do them correctly. Here, while doing the PLL, I had to do the T-perm 3 times to get it right. So it's quite difficult, but that's something that you can always, well, that you're necessarily going to have on every single 3D printed puzzle that you're going to try to solve. It's still kind of finger trickable. At some point I did use finger tricks, so that was nice, but not always. So because it starts to lock up after a few finger tricks. It's too bad, but you know, it is a 3D printed puzzle. But overall, for the solving part of of this puzzle, I thought it was really interesting. It wasn't that intuitive at the beginning, but I figured out some pretty nice algorithms, and I think it was really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun filming it, and if you did enjoy it, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video.